are you? Oh my gosh. Yes, it has been a while since we've had an episode, but when I tell you we are doing some big things behind the scenes, big things are coming. Oh, yes, you want to be a part of this. Well, welcome to the show. For those of you that don't know who I am Deborah Franklin. I am the host for you tonight at Conversations with Deborah Franklin. I know, so creative. Well, tonight we just wanted to jump in. We had not had a show in a while, and we wanted to just come on and just say hey to everybody and let you guys know what is going on. We are in the process of just expanding, y'all. God is definitely enlarging our territory. We are going to another level. We are doing some things. First of all, for today, I wanted you to think about this because we normally open up the show with a motivational moment. Hey, Anthelon, how are you? With the motivational moment, and what I wanted to talk about tonight was that you are what God has called you to be. So many times, especially what I've been hearing from people through this season of this season of coming out of the pandemic. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's been kind of hard for me as well. Yes, I've been going to work. Yes, I go out, I go to work, and I come back home. But the whole thing of socializing, the whole thing of getting back into, for lack of a better statement, the groove of things, it's still been kind of hard for me. And it's like it's hard to get back into that whole groove. You were rocking and rolling. Then, for those of us that mastered the art of being online, mastered the art of doing the Zoom meetings, mastered the art, doing everything virtual, it's been like, now you want me to go out and talk to people, like really be in the midst. It's like that anxiety is building up. Like, what do you do? So it was like, no, no. For me, how you dress? What do I wear? Can my pumps fit? Y'all, let me tell y'all. I went to an event, y'all. It was an awesome event. Shout out to the creative. They were a independent film crew that has gotten together during the pandemic, and they produced not one, not two, but three independent films during this time. And I was like, oh my God, what do I wear? What do I do? Because most of us, when we went back to work, we were jeans every day. We still really didn't go anywhere. We were still using delivery services for groceries, for food. So to actually go out to a theater, actually put on real clothes, y'all, it was questionable on them shoes. I'm trying to tell you, it was questionable, but I made it through. But there also was that piece of anxiety of, are these people vaccinated? Are they sitting too close? If somebody sneeze, you still jumping. But y'all, I started thinking about that and where we are as a people and operating in God's word. Y'all, the mission has not changed. Our our trajectory of where God wants us to go has not changed. But now we have to go back and start thinking about how are we going to do this new thing. But it's an old ingredients that we're getting ready to make into something new. We still have to go out and profess the name of God. We still have to go out and praise and give a grace and honor and praise to God. We still have to go out and help the sick, help the needy. We still have to go and be nice to our friends. We still have to go out and just be who God has called us to be. But we have got to know that it's not going to look like it used to look. It's not going to be like it used to be. We have to get ready for this new thing that is coming. And we have to be ready to do it with grace and honor. And y'all, tonight, I want you to start thinking about what has God told you to do that you really put off during this pandemic. And now it's time. Now you're seeing like, oh my God, I wasted some time. Oh my God, I should have did something else. Oh my God. Because when I tell you, I have looked at that myself, it's like, what did I do? And it's like, and then you start to put the pieces together. And it's amazing at how you start looking at things differently. And it's like, oh my gosh. But then you start to realize I am doing great. And I started praying this prayer: God, just let me be who you've called me to be when I'm supposed to do it. God, let me be able to be the publisher that you have called me to be. Lord God, let me be the host that you have called me to be. And then I started looking at past shows and I'm like, these shows were good, God. Why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? And God said, I needed you to practice for where I'm taking you. And I'm like, "Huh?" I needed you to practice where I'm taking you. So don't get discouraged if you are not where you thought you would be by now, because God has set you up that you've been practicing for where he's taking you. You couldn't go in there not knowing a little bit about this and a little bit about that, because he's taking you to that next level. You're going to start getting in the room with people like, I'm a publisher. I was in a room with people that had published over 100 books. They had sold thousands of books. I'm in a room with these kind of people, and it's like it felt so refreshing, because then it did there was no hatred, there was no jealousy. It was all like, hey, they did it, I know I can do it too. Now what's next? I got to figure out what was their formula for getting it to the next level. See, that's what we got to be ready to do. Y'all, we got to stop hanging in the rooms with people that are just like us. Yes, it's okay to be with everybody that's just starting, that they're just doing it. But how are you going to start working together, putting that team together that is going to look like what God has called you to be and what God has called you to do? And then it's all about ministry, but it's also all about too making money, being creative, showing up and showing and being what you know how to do, using that gift to this fullest ability, using your gift to be able to minister to other people in different ways. Could you imagine if you got a group of people that all did something similar and putting it together? It's almost making a cake. You know, you can't put sugar throughout the whole thing. You need some sugar, you need some salt, you need some flour, you need some baking powder, you need some this, you need some that. Now sometimes you might be able to, like, they said use applesauce instead of sugar to sweeten it. Right, you might be able to find somebody that got multiple uses, but it's still getting used and it's still needed in order to make that cake be successful. And that's what we have to look at as we're walking forward, especially as leaders in ministry and in business. We have to learn to work together. We've got to learn to build up each other. We have got to learn to support each other. We've also got to be ready to train somebody else. Don't get caught up in, oh, I ain't gonna tell them how to do that, because if I tell them how to do that, they're gonna take my customers, they're gonna take my friends, they're gonna take. Guess what? God gave it to you to give away. And remember that your voice is for the people that need to hear you. You're training another voice for the people that need to hear them. And that's what we have to remember. That's just like they'll be like, "Ooh, all these churches on every corner." But that means that there are many that shepherd, the sheep know the voice of that shepherd. And you got to realize that you are the shepherd of your sheep. And it's okay, because think about it. Every shepherd didn't know what they were doing unless another shepherd trained them. So start being okay with training other people, because see, what God has destined you to do, he's destined for you. But he's also giving you something, because you might not be going up because you're not taking anybody with you. Because I say this all the time, it's only lonely at the top because you're not taking nobody with you. So you've got to start thinking about it from that perspective. And if you want to look at it from a business perspective, it's called building a team. It's called building your network. It's called building up those people that can support you, whether it's virtual or whether it's in live and in person. You've got to build a team that you can depend on, that you can ask questions for, that's going to support you, not yes people. No, 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 no. Don't build your team with a bunch of yes people, because you'll never be able to see how you're messing up. And I had this conversation with my business partners, like literally this morning. We also have to start thinking about, what image do we want to portray? Y'all, that means that's how we dress, that's how we talk, that's how we all act. If you got you just have to think about the things that you say and the things that you do. Because when God gets ready to use you, you don't want to offend anybody. Now, I did something a couple days ago that I thought about, and I was like, God, forgive me if I offended anybody. God, forgive me if I deterred the thought process of somebody or took their eyes off of you and then turned to me. I had to think about that because I was not sure. I was not sure. And I said, anytime, and anytime you got the question, you was wrong. And I was like, maybe so. And so But I want to encourage you tonight to get ready to do what you do and do what you do and do it well. And most of all, don't be scared to train somebody else to do what you do. Don't be scared to share your knowledge with somebody else because your voice is for your sheep. Remember, you are the shepherd of your flock, and they'll be the shepherd of theirs. And you have got to start training these new and up and coming shepherds because God is getting ready to do a new thing. And in order for Him to replenish this earth and to replenish what's going on and to replenish His kingdom, we've got to go out and do what we've been called to do. And that's what I got for you. But guys, I'm so excited about that because I wanted to share some other things with you too tonight. Now, some of you may not know what Church Girl CEO is. Church Girl CEO is is my baby. Yes, I am the founder of Church Girl CEO, the CEO, and this is the news about Church Girl CEO. Church Girl CEO is a safe place for high achieving women in ministry and business to join together and glean from each other as they grow in ministry and business. Our mission is to share business and educational tools for success. So you might be saying, what do you mean education? What we do is that we come together. We have boot camps, many boot camps in the Church Girl CEO group. So if you join Church Girl CEO, then that means that you will be a part of some of those free business classes. I may be talking about time management. We had a workshop on how to schedule. We've had workshops on how to use different payment systems like uh using Square. We've talked about how to use StreamYard. So those are things that we do in the group. You have an opportunity to share what you do as well, because what we want to do is build that community up large enough to where whatever you need, it's in there. Because I always say, someone's like, well, I need this. I say, guess what? It's in the room. I need a travel agent. It's in the room. I need somebody to help me with my finances. It's in the room. So I need a photographer. It's in the room. So that's what we are doing over in Church Girl CEO. If you're interested, drop me a message, inbox me, and we'll get back to you to show you how you can join Church Girl CEO. And that's what the education for business. And we also, another main pillar of Church Girl CEO is missions. Missions is my heart. Missions is what I have been called to do. I know that that's where I should have been a long time ago, but God had to cultivate some other things in me before I could go out and really do missions the way that I would like. Our accomplishments so far in education, we've done the prayer of Jabez in the marketplace. We took the prayer of Jabez and we applied it to how we need to enlarge our territories for our business. And what that means is that a lot of times you're not seeing your territory enlarged because you don't know what territory you're trying to enlarge. You're just saying enlarge my territory instead of God enlarge my territory of my business in the state of Texas or in the state of Georgia or in the state of Maryland. Where do you want your marketplace to be established? That's the gist of that. Then we do the 21-day prayer challenge on biblical principles for your business. We come together for 21 days consecutively. 21 days. We pray and we have different themes every day to talk about our businesses and how we can grow, how we can network. So get ready. The 21-day prayer challenge is coming up fairly soon. It'll be coming up in, let's see, probably around October, November. So be on the lookout for that. We also have done the Habakkuk 2 and 2, laying out our plans for our business, where we come together, we write the vision, make it plain, and most of all, execute. We have done missions. We went to Lagos, Nigeria last year in 2021. Yes, in the pandemic, we went to Lagos, and this year for 2022, we're going to Nairobi, Kenya. Y'all, things have already been put in place, and we are not just talking about it, we're being about it. We are small, we are new, but we are going out and we are attacking all those things head on. We are building our team, we are sharing it out. We are calling the mission trip last year and this year as our Caleb moment. Just like Caleb had to go out and scout the land, we are going to scout the land. We are going to see where we can make the biggest impact. Right now, we have partnered with 3 orphanages. Yeah, I said 3. I thought it was 2. Then I found out my sister was like, no, it's 3. I was like, oh. So yes, we have 3 orphanages that we'll be working with. Now, one is in a really rural area and the other one is closer to the city of Nairobi. So God is really beginning to open the the doors for us to do more in missions and to do more is in education as well. God is definitely growing Deborah Franklin Publishing, because the goal is that we want to be able to build a publishing company so we can be able to you do that full time and not have to worry about you know multitasking. We want to be able to concentrate and build a real entity for Church Girl CEO and Church Girl CEO Foundation. Publishing projects. We have done Truth, Mosaics, You Got This is an audio book and all three of those are collaborations. You Got This is audio and print. It will be available soon on where you can listen to it on what is that called? On Audible. Audible. That is the goal. You Got This will be available on Audible probably around September, August, September, and we've done several individual projects. So that those are just some major accomplishments that we have. Some of the accomplishments that we have done right here with Church Girl CEO and Deborah Franklin Publishing. Now, for the big thing, guys, the big thing that I'm really the most proud of and the most excited about is this right here. Church Girl CEO missions. We are going to Nairobi, Kenya. We'll be leaving out June 26th until July 28th. We are scheduled to go out for 2 weeks. I have also gotten another invitation that I'll be looking at that I may be end up maybe staying for an additional week. But we gonna see how God works that out. So if you want to get more information about the Kenya trip, I can shoot you over traveling to Kenya, mistakes that we made, stuff that I wish I had known the first time I went to Africa by myself. Y'all, it's been amazing. This has been a you want to know my why and how you could be a sponsor, we would definitely like to send this brochure out to you. And my big thing, when I saw this by Oswald J. Smith, it says if God wills the evangelization of the world and you refuse to support missions, then you are opposed to the will of God. I was like, wow. So yes, we do need your help. We do need your assistance in taking this ministry to the next level. We have the Church Girl CEO the Church Girl CEO Gala and fundraiser that will be happening on May 22nd. And y'all, this is how I see myself walking into Nairobi to do what I was called to do. That's it right there, right there. And so that's what we want you to know. We have provided the links for you in the chat. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me, whether it's on Instagram or on Facebook, or even if you have the email, you can always send an email to info@churchgirlceo.org. Or if you want to go to the website, you can check out the website at churchgirlceo.org. You can pretty much find us anywhere that you would need us. But God is definitely doing a new thing. And when I tell you, He is awakening up the sleeping giants to do what He has called them to do. And are you one of those sleeping giants? Has God called you to missions and you have not done it? Because that's another part of ministry. And missions is just that. We will be planning for when we get back in July, we'll be planning for missions for 2023. And if you are thinking about going to missions, be on the lookout. We would love for you to join us. It is open. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to go to churchgirlceo.org or inbox me. And either myself or my assistant will definitely get back to you to give you all the information that you need. So just if you have not heard, if you have not seen, y'all, gospel recording artist Tina Nims will be joining us for the Church Girl CEO concert. If you missed that show that she was on here and she debuted her CD, you got to go back and find it. In fact, I might do a replay of it on next week. You just never know what we might do. But that's the other thing. We'll be doing a live recording for Church Girls for Conversations with Deborah Franklin at the gala and fundraiser. So if you want to be a part of that live studio audience, you need to make sure you get your tickets and be there. And we look forward to seeing you. Again, we love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. We want to hear from you. Make sure if you got any comments, drop them below. If you're watching the replay, go ahead. If you're watching this on Roku, if you're watching this on Fire Stick, hey y'all. And most of all, go ahead and inbox me. You can always inbox me. You can always shoot me an email. I want to hear from you. However you are catching this show, make sure you let us know. Well, all right, guys, I love you to life, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great one. Peace.